You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AfterBuzz TV for Beavis and Butt-head. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest Beavis and Butt-head news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, it's AfterBuzz TV for Beavis and Butt-head.
Happy holidays, AfterBuzzers. It's Gian Molina.
And Daniel Weiss.
And we're here for Beavis and Butt-head. AfterBuzz After Show.
Why are you doing a 1920s announcer?
I don't know.
Beavis and Butt-head
Beavis
are
and
sponsored by...
Nobody.
AfterBuzz.
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 Thank you. I was going to say nobody because we're not allowed to product place anything. See my laptop? I had to put a bunch of stickers.
It's
and like,
AfterBuzz.
Yeah, even my name. They're just
AfterBuzz.
I just want to see how many things I can say that get AfterBuzzed. Are you enjoying that ice-cold beverage?
AfterBuzz.
Oh, man, I sure could go for a warm cup of...
AfterBuzz.
Oh, man.
That'll be a new sound cue for the new year. Anything that's a product will be replaced with AfterBuzz.
I got hurt the other day, and I had to take...
AfterBuzz.
For your headache? Oh, man.
Yeah, and then it didn't work, so I had to go to St. John's
AfterBuzz.
Hospital. Great.
Hospital.
Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we saw back-to-back episodes of Beavis and Butt-head, and we're going to cover that for you tonight. Episode 1, Used Car and Bounty Hunter. Fun episodes. Fun episodes. Yeah, that took me back, dude, because I have the worst car problems. Like,
Yeah, you do.
I buy a car every other year, maybe, or every year. It depends on like, I always go for, like, you know those like little car dealerships that are around that aren't Chevy, that aren't Nissan. They're just
Right.
they host
Mike's Automotive.
exactly like, and so in Long Beach they just have a bunch of those kind of dealerships, and so like I always hit those up first because they're cheaper, and I always pay and get what I pay for.
I think that you should total up how much you've paid for in the past 5 years and then see what kind of car you could have bought for that money.
A
that
Kia
would
Sorento.
Still last. I've known you, I think, for like 4 years now,
Probably.
and I've known you to have like 4 different cars.
Yeah. When you met me, what car did I have?
The little red one,
The little red one?
or the red one that you got towed, and at 7 in the morning I had to take you to the courthouse.
That's right. Because I had my tags expired. Thank you, Dan. I
you're
remember that.
welcome.
You bought me an orange juice
I did.
that morning. That was very nice of you. Yeah, that was my my Chevy Impala, which kept getting broken into. So like I got rid of that one on my own. It didn't break down.
Right.
I got rid of that on my own because, well, first off, the law, like police officers were just pulling me over because it was a racing model, and so they just thought I was this kid who likes to race just because of the shape of the car, the look of the car, and not to mention I'm brown. You know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't
You
see
don't know
it
what
as
that means,
colors.
right? You don't. Yeah, of course you don't see colors because it never comes up in your life.
I don't know what that has to do with anything.
Was that a racist joke?
It was
Yeah.
not even a joke.
Because
it's
what?
a racist
Because I'm
fact.
white, I can't get pulled over by the cops.
You can for like
You're racist.
Excuse me, sir. We want to. There's an angry colored person on the road. Please pull off to the side.
Yeah.
Or your lights out. Here, let me fix it for you.
No, I got stopped by the cops one time. They took me out of my car for half an hour, searched my entire car, questioned me, and then at the end they go, "You know, you have a headlight out."
Did they then break it in front of you?
No, I had a headlight out. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I didn't know." They're like, "Get it fixed." I'm like, "Is that it?" Like, yeah.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Now, same scenario happens to me. I'm in the back of the car, handcuffed. Then they come to me. By the way, your headlight's out. We're gonna take you to the station and have someone come pick you up.
That's because you have 3 pounds of cocaine in the back of your car.
That's besides the point.
So what happened with Butthead?
Well, I was gonna say like the thing that related to me about this, because I always find a lot of these episodes, there's something that relates to me, even though it's crazy. Like the episodes get crazy, but the things that relate to me, like in this one, was how shady the car dealers are.
Right.
And they played it up like pretty well when the guy was like, "All right, these guys are gearheads. Give them the sob story."
Exactly. Well, anytime they you go into those places, they think you're there to swindle them or think.
No, it's the opposite. They're trying to.
They're trying to
do
get you
whatever they can.
But they try to spot the people who like act like they know, and they try to be like, okay, watch out for that guy. That guy is gonna find something wrong. It's gonna find because that happens. That happens to me and my mom all the time when we go buy cars. So but they did play up those and that's the kind of dealership I'm talking about. Those the shady dealerships.
Yeah. But one of the things I really liked about this that is going for the new season is they're keeping all the old characters. They're bringing back Stewart and Van Driesen and all those people, but also now they're bringing in new ones.
Right. I'm going to actually bring a new one because you guys have a caller on the line.
Oh my God, yes.
You were just asking for a caller.
I wanted a caller so badly.
Hey, caller, what's going on?
Hey, how we doing tonight?
Great. You see the episode?
No, I haven't. I actually just missed it. I'm actually I have it on DVR, so I'm about to watch it. But I'm just starting to listen to what you guys talk about about how your guys' used car was, or stories actually.
Exactly.
And I actually have one story where I drive a Crown Victoria, or as they call it, the police car.
The police car,
nice. Those are the best.
Do you have that light that's on the side that comes with the car?
No, I don't. It's actually a beige model. It's a 2001, and this happens to me all the time. I go to school up in San Diego, and every time I pull in, there's like a border patrol checkpoint. And, and every time I drive up, they don't even ask. They just say, go on ahead. They're like, oh, he drives a Crown Victoria. Don't even bother.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty nice. That's like having the I donated to the police department sticker on your car, because they'll just be like, oh, yeah. Keep going.
That's awesome. So you get discrimination in a different way. You're like, oh, this guy's cool. Come on in, buddy.
Anti-discrimination.
Anti-discrimination.
But then there was this one time where I pull up and I always see the same officer, but there was a different officer, and they're like, can you pull up to the side because we need to check your car real quick. And then they're like, you come here often, don't you? And I'm like, yeah, I go to school. And they're like, there's no drugs. And they're like, yeah, I know, but we're just checking. I'm like, damn, they caught it.
Wait, they caught you? So you had drugs?
Huh?
No, you had drugs in your car?
No, I didn't. But instead of saying go on through, they're like, oh, pull him to the side. Let's check him out because he's coming here pretty often.
Right.
Well, you flew too close to the sun. You're like, I'm untouchable. I'm in a Crown Victoria. They can't touch me. Then they're like, this guy's suspicious.
And then the guy.
And the bad thing was I used to have a siren in the car too, but now I don't have it anymore. I should have just had that on saying, I'm a detective. Let's go.
I'm an undercover. You're messing with the situation.
Did you ever turn on the siren while you were driving, or were you too scared?
Actually, I have two stories about that. There was one where I had the siren. It was in the middle part of the car. And me and my friends, we were just driving around the block, and because his cousin was walking around, she was supposed to stay home. So we finally saw her, and he says, does this thing turn on? And I go, yeah, just hook it in. And he says, okay, we're going to creep up on her and just stop, like if we're the actual police. Oh, no. And he says, okay, go. And he stopped, and the girl just freaked out and leaned up against the fence. and then another one was after that. There was another party that he was throwing at his house, and they were only coming in and dropping the beer off and leaving. So what we did was we drove up and we just floored it and had the siren on. We screeched, stopped and everyone started running.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's the best use.
Yeah.
That's what you do when you have a siren and you have a car
You
like
just
that.
got to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, when else are you gonna have an opportunity to fuck with your friends or like mess with your little sister?
Yeah.
That's when you do it.
Well,
And,
I feel like
and the ironic thing was that after that I took down the siren and put it away, and there was like a police car driving by the next block, so we just barely missed getting caught with it.
Impersonating an officer is a huge
yeah.
offense.
Well, that reminds me, I'm going to bring it around. Ready?
Ready.
I'm going to bring it around. That is such a Beavis and Butt-head type thing. Because they're constantly doing the wrong thing.
Exactly.
And as soon as they stop, that's when they get busted.
Exactly.
You know, like the episode last week that I was lucky enough to be here for, and we talked about the holding.
Right.
It's like they were doing all the wrong things, and then when they stopped, like they were going to the porn and talking about drugs, and as soon as they stopped is when the cops came.
Exactly.
And then they got away with it, but...
Exactly. How are you enjoying the new season, man? Like, were you a fan of the show before?
You know what? I've been a huge fan. I was watching Beavis and Butt-head back when it was on Liquid Television.
Oh yeah.
Which, by the way, they're bringing back.
Liquid Television?
Yeah, and
MTV.
I was actually going to ask you a question, like, what do you think on MTV's direction on bringing Beavis and Butt-head back? And do you think, like, since the reality show seems to be not working on MTV as well, you know, maybe it's like there's finally decided, okay, this sucks. We're not getting the ratings as we thought we were. Let's bring back some of the shows that did make us what we are.
You know, I think there's a balance because first off, their reality shows actually do the ratings are actually great for those. Jersey Shore, Road Rules, Real World, they get a ton of ratings, and from what I've seen, like the only shows that are still good are the ones that started like in the early '90s, like the Real World, and, right?
You know, for some reason, I'm getting a sense that they might bring back Road Rules again.
They might, yeah. That I actually did hear a rumor about that, which I was a fan of Road Rules.
Yeah, it was fun.
When they had those, because for me, Real World never caught on. Maybe like Seattle was probably my favorite one, the early Seattle. But you know, I think bringing back Beavis and Butt-head, and they're trying to find like that creative content that isn't reality and that isn't music. Like I feel like the MTV as a general is jumbled up. They've gone away from their old music video modes, which doesn't make them money.
Right.
It just doesn't. You know, like TRL and all those shows that they used to have, just like they're wasting
now
money.
You can watch. Now you can watch them like on MTV Jams or something like those other digital channels that you got to have, but most people probably don't have unless it's you have basic cable.
Exactly.
But I think another cartoon that they should probably bring back would be Eon Flux.
Flux.
Well, I think that what they can do with Liquid Television is same thing with Beavis and Butt-head.
Right.
Bring it back, see what works. Obviously, Beavis and Butt-head is doing well.
Exactly.
So it's like
Daria would be
oh my
amazing.
God, I would love. I want them to bring back the head.
The head. Oh God. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a good cartoon as well as Daria was too.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm also I kind of have this sense too during the season of Beavis and Butt-head, I'm guessing that Mike Judge might add Hank in there somewhere. Either he's trying to sell propane and Beavis and Butt-head try to light the fire with it after buying it and just destroy the entire propane campaign while he's trying to sell it.
I think that could be open to that because as Gian pointed out to me last week was they're bringing as like a small part of a bunch of the episodes the old lady that was in the movie that was sitting next to Beavis on the plane that was like, oh, I love the sluts.
Exactly.
She's been in a bunch of the episodes, so I feel like he's open to bringing little things in.
Exactly.
Like little jokes.
Right.
And that'd be amazing if he brought Hank back.
And you know, just to wrap up the question, I feel like with Beavis and Butt-head at least they're giving a chance for social commentary on a lot of like a lot of the shows that they've had. That's why they have 16 and Pregnant. And MTV does get criticism from like from people who want to see
why make these reality shows.
Exactly. So I think Beavis and Butt is a way to be like, all right, fans, let's come face to face again and look, we're making fun of ourselves. But at the end of the day, as a network, they're trying to find some sort of identity. And I feel like with Beavis and Butt-head, is a great first step, and I'm actually curious to see what they do.
It kind of brings back it kind of brings back the way that things used to be, to where it's like, okay, at least they're doing something right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also opened them back into experimenting, because I haven't watched Good Vibes yet, but just the fact that they have another cartoon on is like they're being open to it again. Like when they did the Brothers Grunt and the Head and the Max. It's what's working.
I even remember when they used to have Rugrats and Nickelodeon shows on MTV just to kind of fill in that
Ren and
Stimpy. If there was nothing on.
Yeah.
Ren and Stimpy started on MTV, the first episode.
Awesome, man. Well, you've been an awesome caller, man. Keep watching Beavis and Butt-head, and keep watching AfterBuzz, and chime in whenever you want, man. Call us anytime. We'd love to hear from you.
Alrighty. Oh, and another thing is, I also watched the AfterBuzz for Monday Night Raw. So
nice. Shout out.
So I'm looking at other shows out here besides these two, and I have like one more question if I could add it in.
Real quick. We'll go for it.
All right. What do you guys think of the Cleveland show since it replaced King of the Hill? And from what I've been reading is that the Cleveland show is decent, but they would rather have King of the Hill instead.
I agree with that. I like King of the Hill. I miss King of the Hill. Cleveland show, I mean, American Dad and Family Guy are so, it's the same humor, same stylist of drawings. I'm fine with American Dad and Family Guy. I feel like to replace King of the Hill was a mistake. Well, but that's just personal.
Right.
I don't think they replaced it, and I think I like the Cleveland show a lot. It doesn't compare to King of the Hill at all, but I think it was more Mike Judge saying, you know what? We've gotten away this long with doing this show. Let's end it on a good note and on a high note. He ended it himself.
Right.
Because I don't know if you remember, there were like the last 3 seasons, every season was the last season. He kept saying like, this is it. And people kept wanting more and more. So I think he was like, let's end it while people want more instead of, okay, that's enough. I'm done with it.
Fizzles out.
And then they just had to put in the Cleveland show to replace it. But King of the Hill was great.
Right, and to me, like when they did the Cleveland show, it was almost like, well, what's the point of the Cleveland show? Cleveland's only best and character-wise for Family Guy. That's almost like giving Kenny from South Park his own show.
Right.
Yeah, I enjoy it, but I don't think they didn't need it.
I personally don't think it. I just feel like Fox is giving Seth MacFarlane the go-ahead to, because I mean, there are fans. And I guess it is decent, but they're just giving opportunities to a successful person, and it is funny. Like, I mean, I just personally, it's the weaker of the 3, and I just don't think it needs to be there, even if King of the Hill wasn't there. But dude, we're gonna try and get Mike Judd in here at some point.
Yeah, let's do that.
So we'll work on that, and you keep in touch so you can hopefully be able to call in and ask him a question. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Hornswoggle for life.
And tell all your friends about AfterBuzz.
And another thing, this is for Jesse actually, is Jesse, whenever we're doing Monday Night Raw, please try to pay a little more attention to the chat because there's a lot of interesting things going on while Monday Night Raw is happening.
You guys run that chat so quickly. I try to catch up with you guys. I don't know what drinking game you guys are playing. You switch it up every 5 seconons.
I gotta get
I try to write down the their Monday Night Raw chat room is popping.
I gotta check it out. I love Raw.
Hey, and fans of Beavis and Butt-head AfterBuzz, we'd like to do a drinking game.
Oh my God, let's have a drinking game.
Yeah, just do it. Get on chat and do it. We don't know how to do that, but you guys go ahead and do that. Caller, you've been awesome. Thank you.
And as for you, just send me a private message in the chat if you want.
Oh, Jesse's getting some private
messages.
All right.
Take care, guys.
Thanks so much.
All other fans send public messages. This guy earned his.
I like that we talked to this guy for 20 minutes and didn't get his name.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know. He'll call in.
He's that guy.
He's that
it's
guy.
That guy.
So what happened in the episode, guys?
Well, pretty much, Beavis and Butt-head, they confuse. They confuse how the deal of the car is. They say it's 0% down, so they think like, oh sweet, we got 0, we don't have any money, we'll take the car, and then they're trying to, of course, haggle with Beavis and Butt-head, and they just don't get it. They don't understand.
Well, everyone's on a different page, and what I was saying before we got the amazing caller was they brought back Hamid from the episode when they were in the call center.
Yeah, it's a
and I love
learner.
that they brought him in. It's like they act like they didn't meet him before. It's a whole new thing.
You think they're gonna remember Hamid?
But I'm just saying, it's like they do that all the time with Anderson. It's like,
Right.
how many times have they had interaction with Anderson where they pretend like they haven't
Exactly.
done anything before? And I thought that was great.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing with him. And he's like, how can
Yeah.
I get you in this car?
Exactly. And he's like, well, I could just go in. And I think every time he said, can you picture yourself in this car? Like, as a salesman, meaning, could you see yourself buying this car? You seen this think would be a good purchase for you? And no, they're just picturing like, yeah, I can see myself driving it. I can imagine myself driving this car. And of course, they end up just doing a test drive, and Butt-head doesn't have a license, so he crashes the car.
Yeah. And it all ends up okay for them because they didn't give a driver's license or insurance and they get to just walk away.
Which is amazing. Imagine if you had that power to go do stupid shit and then be able to
Eventually,
be
it just works out okay.
like, yeah, okay, we're done. We're just going to go home now and watch.
I was happy because this episode had good interstitials and videos.
Yeah.
And like it had some of my favorite stuff. And this was my favorite episode of Jersey Shore that they've watched, or favorite time that they've watched Jersey Shore.
Right.
Because they said some amazing things that caught me off guard.
Yeah, Jersey Shore. They went on a little trip to the Everglades, and they were all on a fan boat heading out, and a crocodile comes up and scares them all. And the amazing joke that came out of that.
It was so I can't remember.
It was okay.
It was something like, they taste like spray tan.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, these guys, they're just Guidos. They probably taste like spray cans.
Yeah. But
amazing.
The line that came later that was great was they were all sitting at the table and they said that it looked like the Last Supper.
Yeah.
And they're like, Jesus died for your tans.
Jesus died for their tans.
It was just brilliant. And they were feeding off each other so well in this episode.
Yeah.
It was just like, Butt-head would say something, Beavis would say something to that, and going back and forth.
Well, you could tell which clips have, like, when they gathered a lot of material. You could tell, like, oh, this is a sweet clip. Here we go. Like the same thing with the True Life. I have Embarrassing Parents.
Yeah.
Like that one. That one had a lot of fun. Fun moments that they got to like talk about, like the mom being a slut and like her dancing in the Playboy party, which really wasn't a Playboy party.
Yeah, and they were going into it. My complaint last week is that they weren't using enough of the video and making enough jokes, and this had plenty of that.
Yeah,
it made
they
me really happy.
Found awesome jokes. With the Bounty Hunter, this one was a fun like opening. Like I guess it was just like back at that like Home Depot kind of store, and they met Dog the Bounty Hunter, who said he wasn't Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was a bouncer that looked like Dog.
Exactly.
But of course, in their heads, he's Dog. And they just keep saying like, all right, Dog.
Yeah, and oh god, so then they become bounty hunters, and they figure out a way. Like, what do bounty hunters use? They use mace, spray mace, and they all get all badass looking, and then they go to the post office to find the wanted posters. Instead, they just come up to a bulletin board with Obama's.
And they got me with that one too, because
amazing.
I just saw the bulletin board and I'm like, okay, they're gonna look at the wanted posters and get their asses kicked by these guys.
No.
And then they went right past it.
Right past it, and then they pick up Obama's. That's a movie premise. I feel like that Bounty Hunter could have been a movie premise, a Beavis and Butt-head movie premise.
Right.
Meaning small,
and
little
it just
thing they
went
want to
going.
accomplish.
And of course, they accidentally become bounty hunters in the movie, and they would keep going on this big adventure.
Imagine if they went to go find Obama, and then go to, like, basically the movie would be about Beavis and Butt-head trying to go assassinate Obama, but
because they think he's a criminal.
They think he's a criminal, and they want to be bounty hunters.
Yeah.
That would be like that to me. That's why I fell in love with that part of the episode, because it's like I could see this expanded so much.
And what made me warm was seeing my favorite characters from growing up, Beavis and Butt-head, doing things that are current, which was when they had to pray before they got the karate guy, and they just stop, and Beavis puts his hand on Butt-head, and they're just praying and doing this pose. Cracked me up. It killed me.
That's so great.
It was so well done.
Yeah, I love that. And of course, they fail and they find a homeless guy who looks like the Postmaster General.
Who again was in another episode.
Yeah,
bringing back
exactly. By the way, shout out to Dave Koechner, comedian actor Dave Koechner, who's voiced so many of our. We got to bring him in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Let me just call him.
I will get him. Him I could get. Him I could get.
I don't know if I'm ever coming back to this show.
You will. You will.
Well, okay. Great.
Especially on the day that Koechner's here.
Okay. Thank you.
We'll bring you on.
I would love that. Unless people are listening to this and like, don't bring him back.
Why would they?
Daniel,
yeah.
we love you.
Yeah, thank
and I
you.
love you.
AfterBuzz
Jesse.
loves you. AfterBuzz loves you.
I love you all.
So of course, like I said, this was a double episode. Back-to-back episodes, and the next
Time Machine
and massage.
Before we go on to Time Machine, I'm just gonna say real quick, Massage is my favorite episode this year, and then we can get to that after.
Okay,
I just had to put that out there.
We'll hold off to it. The Time Machine was like great just because of the simplicity of it. They're on a field trip, and they're on a field trip to one of those like colonial Williamsburgs, kind of like where all the actors are acting like it's the past and or acting like the time that they're in. And Beavis and Butt-head fall asleep on the bus because obviously that's what they do. And then they wake up thinking like, oh, what? Like everything's in the past.
That's logical. Their logical explanation is the bus is a time machine. We're in the past.
Yeah, exactly. And so then, so then they start like going around, and it made me think of. Did you see South Park's episode that did this?
I think so.
I love there's a difference between both shows that I loved. That both episodes had the people in the Williamsburg, I'm just gonna call it Williamsburg for like old school.
Yeah, they like
the fact they kept to the characters and they were really committed to it. What I love of this is Beavis and Butt-head just brought it a little more more realistic, and we still had their point of view of like wanting to change the past. I mean, change like a Back to the Future parallel, like change the future by, of course, stopping him from getting laid.
If we stop him, then we don't have to go to that class ever again.
What South Park did, they played up more of the people at the Williamsburg. They never dropped character, even when they were getting taken as hostages, and they were being killed because they wouldn't break character, and the terrorists wanted them to break character so bad. So like the difference of it, I love because it's still Beavis and Butt. It stays relatable.
Yeah, it's the real world with two crazy guys as opposed to South Park where the whole world's crazy.
Exactly.
But this was so great, and like of course Van Driesen is trying to score with the hot milkmaid.
With the milkmaid, the churning butter. She was churning butter.
And of course they mess it up for him because that's what happened.
Which I feel so sad. I mean, how often does that guy get a chance to like get laid? And I mean, and at least we never see him with women interaction. And here he had someone and they connected. He said, "Oh, are you the girl from? Oh, yeah, I'm this guy." And then they were going off, and then they made him seem like a pervert. Honestly, it was
great, or a liar.
And
just talk. And then the one thing that I was a little upset at the end of this episode was when they got off the bus. I was waiting for some funny reveal as to all the stuff that they stole.
Right.
And it was just like Beavis had an axe, had a hatchet in his pants.
Yeah.
But I thought it'd be funny, like if they walked off and their pants just had the outline of all this stuff.
Exactly.
But but also going back real quick
to
the used cars one.
Yeah.
Last week, if anybody listened, we talked a lot about product placement and how they're using commercials.
Exactly.
In this, they had a great spot for
AfterBuzz.
But they had
Toyota.
Oda.
They had a Yoda car. No, they had a Toyota truck.
But it was just like there. Yeah. But at least it's like, it's not, this is it. This is the only thing. Like,
and it wasn't the car they drove.
Yeah. It was just, it was there. Fine. Like, I'm okay with that as opposed to let's show 4 minutes of the UFC.
Right. which they didn't do. They didn't need to.
That's what I'm just saying. It was a lot
and by the
better.
way, shout out to
Kudos.
Avi Buffalo. They were one of the music videos. They're the acid trip looking one, the one where they're talking about white kids and how they rebel against their parents by making softer rock. That video was amazing.
And shout out to Oregon Trail.
In Oregon,
because I shot a lot of buffalo and I couldn't carry that much meat back.
Exactly. Avi Buffalo's a band.
Buffalo is a
Pearspace. Shout out to you guys. Another music video that they did was the Yolanda Be Cool. The Americano. Really funny, that opening of that. I love how they said that. Sounds like music you would hear at Olive Garden.
Yeah.
And then they would just kind of went on a tangent of like, Olive Garden rules. Like you can't go to Olive Garden and not come out happy.
I liked also they had a lot more music videos in this one.
Yeah.
They had the one of the porcelain.
Yeah, that was a weird.
That was so weird, but it had such an amazing line. Which when Lil Wayne came out and they're like,
yeah.
I was in the teacher's lounge grading papers. Like,
yeah,
they're just having clever lines.
Yeah, and yeah, going back to what we talked about last week. Yeah, look, see, I'd rather if you can't find another reality show, put a music video. There's tons of music videos you can choose from, rather than going to like a UFC fight that had nothing to do with anything.
Right. And I'm hoping that maybe, and this could be a stretch,
right?
But maybe this will get artists to make better music videos, because there's no place that shows them really. I mean, the internet and their websites and YouTube, but there's no TV show, so why put a lot of effort in? I've seen a lot more of rappers on a rooftop with the like helicopter cam, just doing the like hands and stuff, because who really cares? Nobody's gonna watch the video. But now maybe if they have something, maybe it's just
like even like
stylistically,
like
I want to be on Beavis and
top.
Butt-head. I want my video to be on Beavis and Butt-head. Let's do a crazy video that they can comment on and people will be talking about. Like kids, like high school kids tomorrow are gonna go to school. And be
the Avi Buffalo, like in fact that's how a lot of back in the day with Beavis and Butt-head, that's how a lot of like I got turned on to a lot of bands, but like, oh, who was that?
I got turned on by a lot of bands.
You got turned on?
Gavin Rossdale.
I
mean, I love women. Women are great.
I hate Bush.
I do too. It was the first guy that I could think of.
Really good. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I got turned on to a lot of bands by watching the music videos shortly. Then I'm like, oh, I want to wait for that one. See 120 minutes.
Yeah, I hate to say that this is where I got it from, but I got into Jane's Addiction because they played the video on Beavis and Butt-head.
Object. That song.
Well, no,
that was
I've been caught stealing once when I was five.
Yeah,
or whatever the lyric is. But
that was a shout out to Vilo, Vanessa Lopez, who's not here. That was a day that I could not stop singing that's the newest Jane's Addiction song.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The immovable object, something that I better done.
That does remind me though. I was gonna tell you, Gian, please, I just want my pants back.
yeah. For all you Beavis and Butt-head fans, you got to see the exclusive trailer of the new show. AfterBuzz will not be covering.
But if anybody is out there listening, I just want my pants back.
I just want my pants back. It's pretty much a like shitty version of Degrassi meets Sex in the City.
Degrassi is a shitty version of a TV show.
Exactly. So, and then it's just 20 somethings in New York doing drugs and giving each other AIDS. Yeah.
And I saw a while ago they did, after like one of the MTV Awards, they showed like a 20-minute preview of the show.
Oh, really?
And it was...
They didn't want to show the whole episode.
It was just part of it.
Okay.
And me and my roommate watched it because we were like, how crappy could this show be? And it got crappy.
Right.
And it was the main guy talking to a girl at a bar, and it was literally... Hello, Star Wars reference. Ha 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 ha. This is also a Star Wars reference. Ha 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 ha. You make Star Wars references? I make Star Wars references. Star Wars reference.
Wow.
I mean, obviously they made real references. They didn't say that, but they should have. because that's what it was.
But like I got the gist of that beginning.
And it was
that.
so robotic. Like, this is just like when Han and Chewie were in the Falcon. Oh yeah? Well, it's also just like when Han was on planet Hoth. Star Wars reference? Star Wars reference. Wow. I just want my pants back.
So they're trying to reach out to nerds somehow, but
kinda. But it was as if these people had never seen Star Wars,
right?
Don't know what it is.
They're just reading,
but
the
it's in the script.
Yeah.
Of I just want my pants back.
Well, I'm glad you broke it down like that because now I never want to see that show.
Yeah,
no one ever should.
And actually,
You're
I think we're
welcome.
talking too much about it.
Yeah.
I'm already bored.
Boom,
Good.
boom, boom. It's not our fault. That's the show.
Yeah. You can keep
DJ
my
Jazz, give us that little goodbye before, or not the goodbye, the commercial before we go talk about the bye-bye.
AfterBuzz TV. Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
Can I have my pants back?
I just want my pants back.
The funniest thing about that was I pulled the icon up so much earlier that we literally have like a 7-minute clip of you.
7-minute clip of me doing what?
Exactly what my facial expression just did. It's like a very awkward pose of you getting ready to speak into the microphone, waiting for the commercial to end.
Oh, funny. Great.
Perfect.
So now you see how my waiting face looks like.
Waiting.
Am I waiting to exhale? So I love that we had a caller. More callers. More of that.
P.S. His name is Adrian.
Adrian.
Wanted to make sure we shout
You
out
were the
Adrian.
bomb, bro.
Shout out to Adrian. Please call in and let's have a dialogue with you, the fans. We want to keep Beavis and Butt-head on the air. Make sure to find us on Facebook, AfterBuzz TV, Beavis and Butt-head. Download the iTunes. Listen to us on iTunes. Very important that you guys find us on there. You can put us on your iPhone, on your iPad. Take us everywhere with you. And of course, let us know how we're doing. And we love doing these shows for you guys. We are fans ourselves, so this is a great opportunity for us. And we get a chance to sit down. I actually get a chance to sit down and watch a show. That's what I love about AfterBuzz. All my favorite shows, I get to sit down and make that a part of my week to actually sit down and watch it. So you can find me at Gian Molina, Twitter. That's Twitter at Gian Molina, or my Tumblr, giancast.tumblr.com. Daniel Weiss, you've made fans tonight. Where can they find you?
Oh, please visit me on Facebook, Daniel Weiss. And if you're having trouble finding me,
He's the white guy.
I'm the white guy dressed as Spider-Man.
White guy dressed as Spider-Man. Perfect. Awesome, guys. We have been Beavis and Butt-head AfterBuzz. DJ Jesse Janity is always with us. We love you, my friend. Please get us out of here.
I just want my pants back.
We just want our pants back.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
I just want my pants back.
I also just want my
I
pants
just want
back.
my pants back.
Buzz you later.
It's a terrible show.
I just want my pants back.
It's a terrible show.
I just want my pants
It's
back.
a terrible
The
show.
views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.